Whatever you do, stick and move. Stick and move. Don't stand in front of that man. Do not stand in front of my man.
I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this, but you know he's gonna be a lot quicker. And if he stay close to Mike,
What do you think of Jake?
Clown. Would you look at it as a joke if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul? Would you be like, come on, man?
I laugh at him.
Did you ever do a fight like that?
I feel as though in my career I can't do that right now.
Stephen A. Smith unleashed a blistering rant against Gervonta Tank Davis, tearing into him for agreeing to fight YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul. With his trademark passion, Smith called the matchup a circus, accusing Davis of trading respect for cheap hype. He argued that the fight was more spectacle than sport, an embarrassment to boxing itself. Smith's on-air fury lit up social media, marking one of his most explosive tirades yet. And he made one thing clear: this fight isn't something to celebrate, it's something to condemn.
I wanted you to come on the show to tell me that you think I'm a great boxer.
I think you're a damn good boxer with a lot of potential. And I got one problem with you, and I told you this already. You are skilled. You cannot be going in the ring beating up on dudes that you know don't box. You can't have a basketball player, UFC fighters. No, they strike. They don't box. There's a difference. They're not on your level.
So, as a competitive sport boxing fan, this is nonsense. It doesn't make any sense for the sport, for Tank as a world champion fighting Jake Paul, as Jake Paul trying to become a world champion fighting Tank. None of that makes sense. Business-wise, this thing's gonna blow up. So let's see about the business of this thing. Let's see what the narrative is for this fight. Because again, I think Jake's gonna come in there and try to knock Tank Davis out. And if Tank's not taking him seriously, believe it or not, that potentially could happen. And I'll explain why. The breakdown.
Smith doubled down, highlighting the massive size and skill gap between the two fighters. Jake Paul walks around at over 200 pounds, while Davis fights at 135. Smith questioned whether this so-called event could actually damage the sport's reputation, saying such mismatched spectacles risk turning boxing into a sideshow. Still, he gave Tank credit for his past achievements, especially how he handled criticism after his controversial draw with Lamont Roach in March. Smith noted Davis's champion mindset and his immediate willingness to run it back, showing real courage in the ring.
The hype at this particular moment in time. Now, I'll give Jake Paul credit for this. At least he's in the ring with a boxer. But 57 years old is 57 years old. And 57 years old and formally walking into a UFC fight as an audience member, as a patron with a cane. It's hard to me believe a year later that you're going to be in any condition to really fight. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. And if you're Jake Paul, here's what I want to say to you. It's Mike Tyson, that's fine. It's a money fight, I get you, and you want to make money. But at some point in time, if you keep telling us that you're taking boxing seriously and you want to be recognized as a big-time boxer / fighter, you're going to have to fight somebody closer to your age, who is a contender at the very least in the sport and who lives with it every single day. Could you please get in the ring with somebody? Pretty please with sugar on top. I'm interested. Tay Davis might be every bit as box office as Maverick himself. As exciting, as electric, because this dude performs every time out, y'all. Wherever Davis goes, wherever he fights, fans justifiably follow. He's that special. And Davis is without a doubt one of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world right now. Don't you even doubt it.
Despite that respect, Smith didn't hold back on one point. This fight is beneath Tank. He ranked Davis among the top 3 boxers in the world, praising his knockout power and elite skill. But facing someone like Jake Paul, a newcomer from the entertainment world, could stain that legacy. According to Smith, a proven champion shouldn't be wasting time on celebrity bouts, and that's why he said bluntly, Tank should be ashamed.
To recognize, this is one of the top 5 fighters on the planet. He might be top 3.
Yeah.
You can make a legitimate argument for him being 3, 1, or whatever. Frank Martin, props to him, came into the fight 18-0, 12 knockouts. Clearly did not have the power to keep Gervonta Davis from stalking him from opening tap. That's what he did. He stalked him and stalked him and stalked him. Okay? Frank Martin caught him with some good shots. Gervonta Davis kept coming. So he can punch. He's a knockout artist. He can box. He's not given enough credit for it. Okay? He closes. He finishes. Once he smells blood, he's like a shark in blood-infested waters, Molly. He will finish you. Yep. Okay? And by the way, he is an elite boxer. And so the time...
Smith's criticism didn't stop there. He slammed the recent wave of exhibition mismatches, including Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, calling them more show business than sport. He urged Jake to fight real active boxers if he truly wants credibility. Still, he admitted that Paul's promotional genius can't be denied. Jake knows how to bring attention, Smith said. But attention isn't the same as respect.
Is a professional. At some point in time, I don't give a damn if it's a light heavyweight. Better be Bivol, a super middleweight, Canelo, Mexican Monster, David Benavidez, somebody that actually has a reputation. The time has come for Jake Paul to step into the ring with a cat who actually boxes for a living and give us that fight. I appreciate the fact of him promoting. I appreciate him having the cachet as a former YouTuber turned boxer. I like Jake Paul. I respect Jake Paul. I'm just saying, because I like him and because I respect him, I want to see him in the ring. And I don't want to hear, I know his numbers are better, but then he gonna say, I don't need Canelo, Canelo needs me. Well, wait a minute. It ain't just about...
After Davis publicly challenged Jake Paul, the YouTuber fired back in typical fashion, with a joke. During a post-fight press conference, Jake laughed about the size difference, comparing weight class rules to height restrictions, turning the tension into humor. His playful jab at Davis's height reminded everyone that while the fight talk is serious, the showmanship is part of the game.
Right. Jake Paul responds to Gervonta Tank Davis' call out and absolutely takes the moment and the opportunity to clown Gervonta Tank Davis's height in the sport of boxing. And he says here, is there a height limit in the sport of boxing? This is where Jake Paul says, and his team, Gervonta Tank Davis needs me. We don't need Gervonta Tank Davis. Let's listen here.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
Boxer Rolando Raleigh Romero also chimed in, saying a Paul versus Davis fight on Netflix could explode in popularity among young U.S. fans. He believes Canelo versus Crawford will draw the hardcore boxing audience, but Paul versus Davis will dominate among viewers under 20. In his eyes, both matchups are wins for the sport. One for legacy, one for reach.
Impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him. Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels Tank is the best option for him. Same way that Stevenson thinks Tank's the best option for him, or like all that stuff, right? At the end of it, bro, we just want to do what's best for ourselves, right?
Facts.
Right or wrong?
Facts.
So just do what's best for you.
All of a sudden, we want to know who will win in this fight, Jake Paul or Tank Davis. It's a legit question. And I actually want to really hear your thoughts on who do you think is going to win. Because I know what Vegas is saying, but I want to know what you think. You got
Personally, I think Tank too little, bro.
Yo,
I think Tank too little.
I'm so glad you have a brain on your fucking shoulder.
I think Tank too little.
I said, bro.
I think Tank's too little. That's what I'm saying. At weight classes for a reason.
Davis
that weight class for a reason.
5'5", 135 pounds. Jake Paul is 6 feet, 205 pounds.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro.
He's too
6'1",
little.
205. Everybody's like, yeah, bro, but Tank it only takes one good punch. Yes, it takes one good punch when you're about the same size. There's a 60, 70 pound difference in weight in these people. I don't think nobody puts the physics in mind. Jake Paul gets punched in the face by dudes 200 pounds with all their might on a weekly basis. A 135 pound puncher, bro. If y'all remember the Mayweather versus Conor McGregor fight, Conor walks around like 180 on the regular. He's like 5'9", 180. Mayweather's like 5'7", 145. that 30-pound, 20, 30-pound difference, bro. If you remember that fight, Mayweather was putting mittens on Conor. Guess what happened to Conor? He didn't hit the ground once.
No.
He lasted all 12 rounds getting hit with flurries. I'm talking about Mayweather was having his time. He's being cocky with it, hitting him with all kind of combos. And we're watching the last 3 rounds of that shit like, yo, knock him out. And you know what? He could not knock him out because Conor gets punched by people that are 170, 180 pounds on a regular. And just that 20, 30 pound difference, it was like impossible for him to do anything. And that's exactly what I feel like is going to happen versus Jake and Tank.
WBC lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson delivered a sharp warning to Davis amid the buzz around Tank potentially boxing Paul. Stevenson called Davis's choice to court an exhibition with Paul disrespectful to the sport, arguing that if Davis truly wanted credibility, he'd face a legitimate contender like himself. Stevenson, confident that he's the best fighter in the division, challenged Davis to prove it by fighting him instead.
Didn't say you got your eye on Tank. What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fighting?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. And he called cap on it. So if he won't call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. No, he fighting pay-per-view, knocking these dudes out. That don't take away the fact that I can beat this dude. That dude get to feeling himself and feeling like he's something that he's not. And to the world, he look like a killer, but I can't wait. I'm gonna expose him. I'm gonna expose him. I promise you, I'm gonna expose him. What? I'm gonna be the person that exposes him. I'm gonna be the person that he going there, he not gonna knock out. He not gonna hurt. He gotta go 12 rounds with somebody and somebody gonna be beating him. He ain't gonna like that shit. That shit gonna mess with his heart. That shit gonna fuck with his head.
But not everyone agrees. WBC lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson didn't hold back, calling Tank's interest in Jake Paul disrespectful to boxing. Stevenson challenged Davis to fight real contenders, not YouTubers. Confident in his own abilities, Stevenson made it simple. If you want to prove you're the best, fight me.